For women listening, I want you to keep an open mind through this episode. I think that there are people who are always willing to listen and learn. And then I think there's people who are always trying to defend what they know. And I invite you to listen and learn in this conversation. Brittney is a woman of faith. Brittney is a woman of God. And Brittney has also learned that the body that has been given to her is one that God designed. Mm-hmm. And in order to understand and love God, she has to understand and love herself.
Yes.
And so I think it's really important that you listen to this episode with an open mind. You may feel like things like chakras, because of what society has taught you, are woo-woo. But the reality is it's ancient practice that has been around for longer than we've been civilized beings, mm-hmm. Or really at the brink of civilization, predating a lot of religions that you're currently aware of or practice. So it's really important to just keep an open mind as you hear these conversations and know there's duality. Mm-hmm. And I know you have it tattooed on your arm right there.
Literally.
There's duality in a lot of the conversation that we're having, where these things are not mutually exclusive. Understanding your chakras in your body is not a separation between your faith and how you love God. It's actually connected. And so I want people who are listening to this conversation to really keep an open mind in that. If you've already kind of put your walls down or you've already kind of tuned this out, I re-invite you to listen. This is the BS4 podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the BS4 podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and today I have with me an incredible woman that I met while I was in Bali, actually. And it just felt like divine alignment. It felt like we were intended to meet at that time. She is brilliant. She is a healer by nature, but she's actually a professional healer. She owns a business called Beaming by Brit. She's been doing it for the last 3 or 4 years and really helps women with feminine embodiment. She helps them heal. She helps women really find themselves and show up authentically. She does sound baths. She does healing sessions. She does Yoni. So we'll get into what a Yoni is if you don't know what that is. She's such a light. And she is so powerful in her own way, but she's so femininely powerful. And so I'm excited for you all to learn from her, because I learned so much from her in the time that I've known her. And I'm really excited for you all to experience her too. So welcome to the pod.
Oh my God. Well, that was just beautiful. You did so beautifully. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm so excited. I've literally been looking forward to this for so long.
I know.
I'm in your space too.
I know.
This is just so cool.
We got so lucky. So I texted Brit probably a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I want to plan a trip to LA. Mm-hmm. And I would love for you to come on the pod. I want to plan a filming day. I'd love for you to talk about your business and all the work that you do. And she was so excited. She was like, yeah, please, let's do it.
Yeah.
Long story short, I missed a text from you.
Yes, I sent her a voice memo letting her know I was coming to Vegas, spur of the moment.
Yeah, she did not have this trip planned because it would have came up when we initially talked about it. And I was planning to go to LA this month and ended up not going.
Oh, okay.
And so it just worked out perfectly that you're here.
Literally.
I'm I see on her story, I know Vegas elevators from anywhere.
I feel like you know the Wynn well.
I know the Wynn well. And I was like, that is a Wynn elevator. And I was like, what the f***? You're in Vegas? And then she messages me. She goes, yeah, I sent you a voice memo.
I'm hello.
And I was like, what? And I literally texted her. I was like, I plan on filming tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Are you down?
Yeah.
And she was like, yes.
Let's do it.
She was like, I was actually hoping that you would say that. And it just worked out perfectly. Beautiful. So I'm so glad that you're here. And excited. We're just going to have such good chats. But today the B is for Brittney. Period.
I love that.
Period.
I was actually reading that on your computer. I was like,
cute. Today the B is for beaming. Yes. I love that. So good. Also my fellow tattooed girly. I'm when we met, we were both oh my God, sleeve on the same arm.
And it's crazy because we didn't know each other prior to going to Bali, but I edited a bunch of content and Bria was in it. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the airport by myself and I look across the way and I'm like, that's Bria. But I've never met her in person. I've only seen her through content and stuff. So then I look up and she's on her phone and I'm like, Bria? Like, I didn't even say it with my chest. Like, I said it kind of low, and you were like, hi. I was like,
did I come off nice?
no, like, no, you were giving like not approachable, but like in the best way. Like, she's just like, I'm protecting my peace, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here for like work. And
so
then like the
sorry.
second I said Bria, you were like, hi, but even your hi was just still like, how do you know me?
I think my high was more like, I feel like I've met so many people.
Yeah.
And I feel like my high was like, I should know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not recognizing where I should know you from, but you have such a distinct look that in my mind I was like, there's no way that I know her. Yeah. Because I would remember you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like your energy, your hair, your tattoos, like I would remember you for sure. The fact that I wasn't was throwing me in that moment.
That's what I was giving.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I should know her and I don't know her. So, but now we do.
Yeah, now we do. And like, we are so similar. It's insane. That's one of the biggest reasons why I was looking forward to this, because I was like, and in Bali, we were there with 10 other women or 8 other women. So it was like, I wanted a moment to connect, because we had little moments where I was like, oh, we can get on. Like, we could talk for sure. So like, this is really our first opportunity to really like do that, sit down and connect. So I'm really like, yes, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. She's going to drop some gems on us, because even the few conversations that we did have, we're also like here with our little tea, like our little all cozy.
So cozy. Everything's in alignment.
It is. I feel like when we did chat though in Bali, to your point, I was like, oh, like I see her.
Yeah. Like, and I see you too. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And I feel like there was definitely alignment there. So I'm excited for this. So obviously I gave my intro for you. Yes. Is there anything that you would add to that though?
Yeah, I feel
Tell us about like Beaming by Brit and how you got here and about you.
Beaming by Brit is pretty much my life's work. I literally growing up, like I just never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. But one thing that I didn't have a choice not to do was heal. And like really going through the depths of my shadows and like figuring things out. And I always tell people in my family, I've always felt like the tie-dye sock in a drawer full of white socks. And it makes me sometimes uncomfortable, because you have to embrace who you are within that. So my whole business is about embracing who you are and illuminating the light within so that you can be confident. I think a lot of women struggle with embracing their femininity because they think confidence is something that's like external or something like materialistic. No, confidence comes from the root of you and really loving yourself from the root. And that's why the Yoni work kind of came into my practice as well, because I had to do my healing journey, but then I also had to do a sexual healing journey. So both of them really helped me become the woman I am today, because it showed me that you can't just come into this world and just expect to be this beautiful flower. Flowers have roots, seeds, branches, leaves, everything. And like, if you were just to blossom, it'd just be like not loving your whole journey. So like, genuinely, my business is to teach women how to love themselves from the root of them.
Oh, yeah. That's so beautiful. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And so you've been doing it for 4 years?
Going on 4 years. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it started off literally in my living room. Like I literally asked like 5 of my closest friends, like, can I just like start sessions? Cause I have a healer. Her name is Alta Lainez. She's amazing. She's a clinical hypnotherapist. Cause hypnotherapy was like my best form of therapy for my trauma. And I always used to tell her, I'm like, I don't know how you do this. Like, I don't know if I could be a healer. So I was really hesitant. Like I had to really figure out my practice. And I would literally just like sit down with women, and it started with sound bowls. Sound bowls were probably the most helpful when I started my journey, because meditating was really hard for me. It's like so hard to focus, just like sitting still. Totally. And like, I don't know, I don't have ADHD. You remember I messaged you about what you posted. What was that? It was like a thesis? Supplement. Yeah, that. Thesis. I need to read about that.
Actually, pause. Thesis. I have a link for y'all where you can get 30% off Thesis. We're actually, you know what? We'll do an ad in a second. Continue.
Okay, yes. And sound bowls were the first thing when I went to my first sound bath with the woman that certified me, Yoni, for the first time felt like I had help. Because I literally, my trauma, like I can't sit still. It was really hard for me to sleep at a certain point in my depression. And it was just really hard to close my eyes. Like that was just a really tough time for me. So like, it was kind of like traumatic, like meditating was difficult. So I started with that. My grandma actually got my first set for me, my whole little sound bath set. Love her. She's like literally the best. Shout out Nana.
Shout out Anna.
Shout out Rochelle.
She's so cute.
And yeah, so then I started doing it in my living room with like 5 clients. I literally didn't even like charge them, and then eventually like they felt bad, so then they would like be I'd like, literally just give me what you think I deserve, like it's not even that serious. And some clients I ended up having for 3 months, some I had for 6 months, and then some I had for like a year, and then it just kept growing. And the more conversations I had with women, like I could be in the middle of a club, Bria, and like somebody's asking me about Yoni eggs, okay, like I don't know what I put off, but like women love talking to me about their deepest things. It's really fascinating.
You give off that energy though, so that's why you're so good at the work that you do. And like, you know, when I first met you, you just had like this very welcoming, warm energy. Like that's just like the best way to describe it. But you also are you could tell that you're rooted in wisdom. And that's very likely because of the work that you've done and the way that you've applied yourself. But I think a lot of my listeners right now are probably really curious about the things that you're talking about and don't know the things that you're talking about. They don't know what a yoni is, right? For the woman who doesn't know what a yoni is, for the man who's listening who doesn't know what a yoni is, you should also pay attention. They don't even know what feminine embodiment is. They don't know like what that means. What that feels like. So for the person who doesn't know what feminine embodiment is, who doesn't know the things that you are so good at practicing and teaching, can you explain that for them?
Female embodiment to me is embracing who you are from the root of you, pretty much what I was just saying, and being comfortable enough in your own skin so that you can come into any room with your best foot forward. And literally, like we talk about this a lot, like the 4 agreements, like being able to really not take anything personal, not to create expectation, to do your best, be impeccable with your word and know it for you. So that way, when you do walk into a room, this femininity, it's so graceful and it's effortless because you've sat with yourself for so long. And within that, even bigger, it's doing the work, the shadow work. So that way you can, femininity and like that light that a lot of people talk about, it's genuinely just from embracing the parts of you that feel the darkest. So that way when you do stand in the light, it's just like radiating off of you. And I think that's where I started gaining most of my confidence from and embracing my femininity was by embracing the parts that made me feel like a little bit more ugly. So that way I had time to sit with it in private. So that way when I would integrate with people and like converse, it kind of felt like I already sat with the things that made me uncomfortable in my own time, in my solitude. So that way when I stepped out into the world, I could just be me because I've already sat with the things that make me sad. I've already sat with the things that make me like depressed, angry, frustrated.
Maybe embarrassed.
So like when I do step out, I'm stepping out with my best foot forward and I'm embracing who I am because I love me even when I don't, you know? And like that's genuinely where it comes from. Like that's what it is. And you know, there's a lot of people in this world that I feel like they're scared to kind of tap into their shadows because they feel like it's either going to make them ugly or they're going to stay there forever. But like, if you imagine shaking up like a soda can, like, and you like, if those bubbles are stuck in there, you're just going to stay the same. You know, you have to release it and let it go. And then eventually everything will settle, you know, and it makes you feel better. It's like, oh, I can finally take a sip of this Coke. You know what I mean?
That's
so a funny analogy, but like,
No, that's a really good way to describe it. So would you say like, because when I hear embodiment, I think of how something feels in your body. How you embrace and put into action your feelings. Or your thoughts. Or, to your point, the things that maybe you're insecure about. And I think women, we struggle with owning who we are. I think we struggle because, for many reasons, predominantly society.
And comparing ourselves to one another.
For sure. And the way that society has brought us up.
For sure.
And telling us, like, you can't be too much or this and that, whatever. And so, not to get down, like, that whole rabbit hole, but I think what it sounds like to me is you are helping women look within themselves. Understand the parts of them that are beautiful, even the parts that feel ugly, and having them see them in a beautiful way, and then show up that way.
And honestly, a lot of my clients that come to me, they come to me because I feel like it's like a mirror reflection of like what they desire for themselves. But like not because they want it to be like me necessarily. They're just curious on how I've navigated my path, because I'm always very transparent with my clients. A lot of my clients are like sexual assault survivors. Some of them have never experienced like internal orgasm. Like they're so curious. Like it depends how they find me. Like some find me because of like having a random conversation at a club about Yoni eggs. Some are like telling me about their cramps, and then I'm telling them, oh my god, a Yoni egg would totally like help with that. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried a diva cup?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
So, or like I have clients that I've known for many years that I know have experienced some type of sexual assault that end up coming to me because they're trying to navigate it. And like, just like for background, I was molested for a period of time of my life when I was a child. And sorry if that's a trigger warning. But I have healed this a lot, like literally for the last like 9 years. And they know that. So then they're trying to see like, how did I go from that type of trench to where I'm at today, especially how feminine I am. And like, I do dance in heels too, like throwing my hair around, and I'm like in these outfits, you know, we keep it cute.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? So
She's
like,
a great dancer. She actually danced at the Super Bowl with Shakira.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Yeah. She's that girl.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people are curious, like, if that's my story, how did you get here?
Right.
And that's that mirror reflection that I'm talking about. They're just like, how do I do that? Because when you have something as serious like sexual assault or feeling inadequate, because sometimes when you are having intimacy with a man, they'll kind of make you feel like you not achieving internal orgasm is almost your fault. And throughout my sexual journey, I realized like, wow, there's so much that we can do for ourselves so that we can embody who we are as women. Why would I rely on a man to help me figure that out? So really getting to know myself through a lot of womb care was genuinely at first coming from a place of trying to get to know myself. And like, I had no feeling. I left my ex of 5 years and I felt nothing in that space. Like it just felt dormant. And I had to learn how to like massage these parts of my body. I literally invested in every course. I was in a course with a bunch of women for a period of time where I got to know, literally you could type in this, it's called the Golden Yoni membership. It's amazing. The Golden Yoni, it's amazing. And Yoni is your vagina. That's what it is. It's just like, I guess, a more appropriate word because it's censored. You literally can't even like type in the word vagina on a lot of social media apps. And yeah, so I just got into this membership and I was really getting to know other women and like their sexual, I don't want to say inadequacies, but like things that made them feel a little bit more like inadequate. And you could type something in there and 50 women will respond telling you their experience. And like that really helped me like love myself again. And through those practices, it helped me so much because I connected to the womb, the root of me. And, you know, if you're familiar with chakras, we've all the chakra, the energy centers on your body, your womb space is the most connected to the earth. So the more that I started to understand this and like really like take these practices seriously, like my Yoni egg is in today. I just got off my period yesterday and I put her in. I was like, thank God. I'm like, that's where the inner glow comes from.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why she's a girl, but she is a girl.
I mean, it's only right.
Yeah, right now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I've been doing it for 9 years consistently. I have not missed a day unless I'm bleeding. And it's just my favorite practice. And it really showed me like you have to love yourself from the root because your root chakra is grounding. Yeah. It's grounding energy. So the more you love yourself there, the more you commit to your practices in solitude, the more feminine you feel. That really that is a huge part of it. Yeah. Genuinely. Yeah. So teaching my clients in a nutshell, that was very long-winded, but
no, that was helpful.
In whatever capacity. It could be sound baths, it could be Yoni steams, de-armoring wand sessions, like teaching women how to use a menstrual cup. Like a lot of people don't know how to like know that's even a thing. Like there's some women that still use tampons and tampons are soaked in chlorine. Like, and there's just so many parts of being a woman that I've learned over the last 9 years of my own journey that I really realize the more conversations I have with women, there are such a big portion of us that just don't know this information. Yeah. So it's really been like my life's work.
And I love that you do this. Yeah. I think it's so powerful. I think that women need it.
Yeah, they do. They deserve it.
Absolutely. They deserve it.
Women, we just have such a beautiful, nurturing, encompassing energy, all of us. And even the women that come off as the most masculine are some of the most beautiful, transparent conversations I end up having. Wow. I can literally talk to the most like strong, like stern woman and like get her to a point where she's like in her softness.
Yeah.
Just from feeling seen, heard, and understood.
Absolutely.
That's all women want. Like even the most dominant one.
Of course.
Literally, we all just want to be understood and
Absolutely.
acknowledged genuinely.
Absolutely.
Without judgment, right? Like from a place of genuine love.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So let me ask you this, because I think that this is very powerful. The work that you do is very powerful. I think that a lot of women are not raised to understand or taught at an early age their own bodies.
Yeah.
Like so many women have not even like looked at their own
Yoni. Oh my gosh.
Like they don't even know what it looks like. They've never, all the things, right? And it's because we're taught it's taboo. We're supposed to be modest, and anything to do with these parts of us isn't. And so I think it's so important that you like destigmatize this. Like the work that you do destigmatizes
For sure.
But my question is, because I view embodiment in two ways, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. I think an aspect of it is the sexual intricacies, which sexual may not be the right term. I think it's just like our
knowing
bodies.
Your bodies. Sure.
But then maybe the other part of it is like the emotional aspects.
No, it is. It's two layers.
As it's not always related, and tell me if I'm wrong, not always related to our bodies, but like the actual things that we've been through on an emotional level that don't have to do with sex or don't have to do with sensual aspects of us. So it's like multifaceted, but I think a lot of your specialization is in the true body aspect.
Yes, especially because I think what I've learned from my journey and what I really hope for my clients now is like the order of doing things. So energy centers are really important to me, genuinely. Like if you are too far up in the sky, like you're manifesting a lot, like you're kind of in the crown chakra realm a little bit more, you're detached. Like if you almost visualize like a balloon, so like a balloon, if it's anchored to something, it's grounded, right? If I cut that string, it's floating in the air. What's going on up there? Like where are you going? Did you pop? Like are you still floating up there? Like what's going on? So I like to take my clients through being their root chakra and womb care, because that's what's going to keep you connected to the earth. Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia is going to support you so that you feel anchored.
Who's Mother Gaia?
It's just earth energy.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the spirit of like earth.
Okay.
So I like to connect to that because I feel like, and also too, like I've had mother wounds. Love my mom. Shout out mom. But that has been something too. So Mother Gaia was really helpful for me because I needed to channel grounding energy and it needed to come from something more pure. So I guide my clients from the root because I've had so much groundbreaking parts of my healing journey from the root chakra. Root chakra is the key to staying anchored and feeling strong and empowered and consistent in your female embodiment, like genuinely. Like it's hard to stay in your femininity, especially if you don't feel safe, right? That's also comes with this. Like you have to have like safe spaces and really curate that for yourself. You can't just be out here being like feminine and then just like, you know what I mean? So literally, like I think it's both of what you're saying, because as you move up, you get to like your throat chakra. I was just telling Bria this. It's like there was a point in time in my life where I couldn't even get my story out because my throat chakra wouldn't let me. Like I would literally break out in hives. I would like, it would be hard for me to say it. I couldn't say it without crying. Like there was something in me that like I had to get through. So I sit with my clients and I literally just talk them through it. And then if they have a moment where they need to break down and they need to cry, I'm literally just here to like be a steady force for them. And then they just get to get it out. And it's crazy. I've had so many deep sessions and like it'll come out of it where like I'll check on them the next day or they'll reach out to me and they're like, wow, like for the first time I feel like I genuinely was able to let that go.
Wow.
It's just so many things that you just have to acknowledge, release and let go, like genuinely. And sometimes we don't give ourselves the permission to do that. So to answer your question, it's both. And once you do it from an emotional perspective, you're able to have more openness and like you give yourself permission to embrace more of the womb work, because womb work kind of has a negative connotation in society. But it's like the more you get to know yourself, the more you don't want that in a man. You don't want a man to do that for you. You want to do it for yourself. And I'm a pretty independent woman, to be quite honest. And I love that I can like, I don't have to rely on a man for like my orgasm or my pleasure. Like, and like getting to know myself, like I have so much confidence because I've spent so much time with my body, my womb, and I know how she ebbs. I know how she flows when I do, so it's called a de-armoring wand. It looks like a wand, and I do a deep meditation. It's like an hour where I'm just literally going through each pressure point in my vagina, basically. And I've learned so much from that. Like I have trigger points down there that like make me think of my molestation. And I'm just sitting there, Bria, and I'm just crying my eyes out. We're not talking about like a cute cry. We're talking about like an ugly cry. Like,
yeah, like everything out.
Like everything's bad.
Yeah.
And those are the most like therapeutic moments. But then I can come over to my left side a little bit deeper, and it's pleasure filled. And I never knew this about myself. And then that has taught me the duality of ebbing and flowing, and like knowing that something that feels so painful, so violating, something that literally was like the darkest part of my healing journey. I can also like choose to sit with it, acknowledge it, release it, let it go, and then move over to a different like phase of love. Wow. So really having this understanding from the root of me has created my femininity and my ability to stay in my divinity within that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. We briefly talked in Bali about your trauma.
Yeah.
But you didn't tell me about what it actually was.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you like sharing that now. Yeah. And it takes a level of healing and vulnerability to say it on a microphone and know that this will be public. Yeah. Not that it's your first time doing that. I know that you have before, but
it's important. It's important to talk about it. And I think that's another reason why I love the work that I do, like making women feel safe enough to talk about the things that has happened to them, you know? And it's like, it needs to be more normalized because, and don't get me wrong, like this has come with years. So we're talking 9 years of getting comfortable with my throat chakra and like saying this out loud. But it's such a beautiful thing to embrace.
I think it's so important to like talk about, and actually one of the questions I have written down, and I wrote it down in a way that is a lot more beautiful than how it's coming to mind right now. So that's why I want to, that's why I want to like make sure that I say it the way that I wrote it. Course. What misconceptions do people have about feminine energy, especially ambitious women who are used to living in their masculine?
Yes. So there are a lot of women that I think are more in their masculine. That's the right way to answer. I mean,
I've been one of those women,
because we feel that we are the providers. We are independent and we've got to get it on our own. And that will put you in your masculine very quickly. And I think some of those women stay there or feel stuck there, one, because they either don't give themselves permission to go into their shadows, because again, like what I was saying, they feel like they're going to get stuck there. You have some women that are just getting to the bag. So like they feel like they don't have time, genuinely.
Fair.
And then also too, you have women that have been through a lot of trauma. Genuinely, if I didn't have certain people in my life at the time that I was going through the depths of my depression, when I was going through all of it and like getting comfortable with my throat chakra and telling my story, I probably would have been one of those masculine women. But it was people in my life that were so feminine, powerhouse feminine beings that really showed me the way. They illuminated the path that, wow, like I can be feminine. And so then like just really investing in them, being around them all the time, like my circle of women,
powerful.
10 out of 10. I call them the Pixie Hollow Fairies.
They're amazing. Love it.
And it's the circle small. It's only about 5 of us. We all literally have different things. But I watched them so much that I was like, okay, I need to make a choice right now within myself, like what I'm going to do. And like even taking it back to faith, when I really sit with God and I really think about my journey, I think it was just supposed to happen this way, like genuinely, like understanding like my energy centers and all the things, because that was one thing each one of my friends and my girlfriends had, was spirituality in whatever aspect. Like they could be really Christian, they could be really like just spiritual, like whatever it was. And it just like kind of played out. But to answer that question, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that a masculine woman is just going to be that forever. That is crazy. That is actually nuts. And like there's like a really negative connotation around that. And I feel like the judgment that some of those dominant women get, especially from men, like men that I've talked to, or other women, it's like give them the benefit of the doubt that they can evolve. And like maybe it's just something that it's a tool they don't have, right? You know, being feminine, it's like sometimes you just don't have that tool in the toolbox.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just a little dull and it needs to be sharpened. Like, give somebody the opportunity to ebb and flow because maybe they just haven't unlocked that part of themselves yet.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think that's a beautiful thing to say. I've lived in my masculine by happenstance. I've lived in my masculine because it's all I've known. So to your point, I haven't known the toolbox, really. I've known, I want to be clear, and maybe you can help emphasize this. Being a masculine woman doesn't mean you're manly.
Right.
Being a masculine woman just means that your energy is aligned to that of masculine energy versus feminine energy. Masculine is very provider, independent,
Dominant.
powerful, dominant, high achievers.
Yeah.
That is
More analytical,
logic, all of that kind
which
of
is beautiful.
Rooted. Beautiful. I think everybody needs a balance of both.
For sure. But being one way,
but being
imbalanced,
heavily in the masculine traits often doesn't allow you to sit in the feminine.
Right.
And so for me, because a lot of my life for a while was independence and having to do for myself and having to lead and having to provide for myself, I sat in the masculine for a really long time, not realizing that I wasn't spending enough time in the feminine, that I wasn't spending enough time in receiving, spending enough time in creativity, spending enough time in sensuality, not to be confused with sexuality, sensuality. I wasn't giving myself that space to be. I was always in the space of doing. And I think a lot of doing is aligned with the masculine. A lot of being is aligned with the feminine. And so to your point, I see why that's a common misconception, because for me, I was like, I don't know any other way. I've never even been given the opportunity to be another way. And then I realized, I was like, well, it's not up to anybody else to give me the opportunity. I have to find my femininity. I have to make space for me to be. And so I love that you say that. And I think it's really important for listeners to hear, like, if you're feeling like you're constantly in a space of doing, this episode is for you.
No, literally.
Like, this is the right person to talk to. And so, and that goes literally into the next question. How do you think embodiment helps women release old trauma or stuck emotions?
There's a difference between self-love and self-care, right? Self-care is like a bubble bath, a glass of wine on the couch after a long day, whatever makes you feel like you're kind of taking the edge off.
Hot tea and chatting with a friend.
Yes, literally. Self-love are those moments in your darkness, right? And really getting to the depths. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to necessarily go there because they don't know how to navigate it for themselves. So I would say, honestly, the first thing I think about when I think about women that are still trying to figure out this path, it's getting comfortable with self-love so that you're okay with being in your solitude, because solitude doesn't need to be isolation. Genuinely.
That's so good. That's so good. And I think a lot of women, and this is something that I've had to learn, is my self-love is how I show up for myself even in the darkness. How I show up for myself on a regular. To me, self-love is keeping my word to myself. To me, it's having a routine and sticking to it.
Showing
meditating,
up for me,
praying, doing
being
things that
myself.
make me feel good. Understanding my body. That is all self-love.
Self-love.
And to your point, I think that was so beautifully said, that self-love is not the same as self-care. Self-care can help you. It's almost like a tool to help with self-love, but it isn't self-love.
It isn't self-love. They can complement one another.
For sure.
But they're two totally separate
Different
things.
things.
And that's where I think society has and social media, honestly, has made it hard for people to navigate their healing journeys and loving themselves and their female embodiment, because we can go on our phone on TikTok and it's here's a bougie morning routine. And it's just a bunch of self-care things. And I'm like, wait, the self-love is really cracking that box within you that has your deepest, darkest things. I remember, I'll never forget, my healer always used to tell me, you need to give yourself permission to go there. And another thing about being a dominant woman is we think that those type of women, even me, I'm sometimes a very dominant woman. I could be more in my masculine some days. We feel like we can't give ourselves permission to go there just because we're who's giving me this permission? I have to show up. I have to show up tomorrow, you know, like I don't have time to go do that.
Yeah.
But it's like really like allowing yourself to go there so that you can figure things out. This is actually one of the biggest things I talk about in my sessions with my clients. It's actually about the book I'm writing. I've been writing it for 3 years, hoping it's done by January.
Yay!
And it's about to unleash. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
I'm
and I have, like,
so
courses,
excited for you.
Yeah, and it's all about loving yourself through the darkness and getting to know. It's called like the canopy theory. So like if you imagine, I take my clients through this all the time. If you were to envision yourself in a forest and you're down there, it's dark. Like you literally like are in the depths of your shadows, the things that make you the most uncomfortable, the most vulnerable, maybe the most violated, whatever that could be, right? If you envision yourself within that, every forest has dense foliage up at the top. And that foliage will put little beams of light because above that foliage is abundant light, like just the sun is radiating. So it's coming down. So when you think about your darkness and your shadows, I always invite people to give themselves permission to go there because even though it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel safe, it feels scary. There's beams of light within that, right? So you don't have to feel too uncomfortable. You can choose to stand at this part of the forest with these bears, these lions, these tigers, these things coming around you, but you can move yourself into a place of safety, which could be that little beam of light to feel that warmth, that protection, that permission, so that you can acknowledge the thing that wounds you, but in safety with the light so that you can release it and then genuinely keep standing in those beams of light to eventually, inevitably let it go.
Oh.
And that is something that people really need to start understanding because that was what my healing journey was. And that's how I did it. And it like got me to where I can be this feminine woman and I can be so confident. And something that people always used to ask me was, how are you such a confident person? And it would genuinely bother me that I couldn't just like say something back to them off the dome. Like, like I always have, I don't want to say I always have all the answers because I'm not a perfect person, right? We're all evolving. But that one would just irk me because I genuinely wanted that for the person that's asking me that question. And I love that they had saw that within me, but I just like didn't know how to give it back to them, like genuinely. And I'm a genuine person. Like if I'm going to say something to somebody, I'm saying it with my chest.
For sure.
And I wanted that for them. So my whole life's mission and my whole career has been to help people gain that confidence. And it's from really illuminating this path. You don't have to be depressed. You do not have to stay there. You can find comfortability within your discomfort. And that is something that more people need to understand and know. And to be honest, my whole practice is just giving people permission to go there without the feeling of being judged.
Oh, I love that so much. And this is like God's work.
Yeah.
Like allowing women to feel seen, heard, valued is so powerful and every woman needs it. And so I'm glad that you do it. So if there are women listening who feel disconnected from their body, disconnected from their intuition, don't feel like they are healed or want to practice female embodiment, what can they start doing today?
My favorite one? Yoni steams.
Okay, tell us, what's a Yoni steam?
A Yoni steam, so think of it like a facial, but for your Yoni. And it's like the best warm hug. I can't even talk about it without smiling because it's literally like the best thing ever. So what that is, so you get a blend of herbs, and the coolest thing about herbs and finding an herbalist is that you can curate a blend that's to your specific needs. So let's say you struggle with being lubricated, like that's just something that you're working on, and you don't want to take like chlorophyll or something like that. You can get a blend that's specifically made to help you feel lubricated. And like literally that's one of my favorite blends. It's the best.
Period.
Slippy slope. Slippery slope.
You're
Oh my
so
God.
cute.
Like, yeah, the better the better. Oh God.
You're so cute. I can't.
The Yoni egg does a lot, but that takes it to another level.
For sure.
And it's just like, it's fun. It's like picking a potion, like genuinely the potion, but for you. And you can get creative with it. If you have a lot of cramps, you can do something more towards that. If you struggle with like your pH being a little off, like you could get something for that. Like there's so many different things. It's so personal, and it's such a self-love practice because it's all about you and you get to make the choices. And I think that's one of my favorite things about some of these practices that I do. It's like, It's all my choice. It's all my permission. It's me granting it for myself. And that is the biggest form of self-love to me. It's like I get to choose what I want from my body. And Yoni steams in particular are great. So you get the herbs and you sit above it. And it steeps, and it's literally like going from a portal. So like your root chakra, your womb space, right? Such life force energy. We call it chi. That's where you activate your femininity and everything about you when you tune into that space. So when I sit on my Yoni steam, I do it like twice a month, I would say. One time before my bleed, one time after. I have different blends for different things. Before my bleed, I have a cleansing blend so I can really allow the energy to come through. And then at the end of my bleed, I'll do like a lubrication blend or something. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm back out there, follicular phase. Ovulation.
You go, girl.
Oh my God, my luteal, I'm like, okay, I just need to cleanse.
Literally,
Oh
my
my
luteal.
gosh, my luteal.
I need to do an episode on all the phases of your cycle because so many women don't even know
Don't
those.
even know. Yes, that's a
whole other
thing.
thing.
Oh
yeah.
my God, we're not gonna.
Yeah. So you do it twice a month.
Twice a month, and it literally just makes you feel so confident. It's such a precious moment. It's basically like a different form of meditating. I sit above the steam for about like 20 minutes, and I literally, and then once the 20 minutes is over, because you don't want to overdo it, right? We don't want to throw off our pH. Okay, we're gonna keep it cute.
Yeah.
The whole goal is to taste good. You know what I'm saying? don't overdo it.
For sure.
Sometimes I'll slide it out like the bowl, because I'll do it underneath a little pot, and I'll just sit there in a deep meditation, and it's actually some of the most intimate moments I have with God.
Wow.
It is the most, like, that's when I hear God the most.
Wow.
My higher self, like, I feel like she's there supporting me. It reminds me to stay grounded. It's like a check-in with like what I'm trying to curate, what God is trying to tell me, and what I'm supposed to be doing in this realm.
Wow.
And it is the most beautiful thing. You could set up your candles, your incense, like whatever makes you feel just loving and beautiful. And it's like giving back to yourself in such a beautiful way, in such an intimate way. It's a deep, deep form of intimacy. And Yoni steams, like, oh my God, when you're done with it, it just feels like you just like, I don't even know. Like, it's like having sex with yourself, but without doing the action.
Wow.
And it's just like so invigorating, and
Wow.
it makes you feel so feminine, so free, and so connected to yourself.
I love that. So me as a logistical person, because I'm sure that there's women sitting here like so how do you sit on top of the steam?
Yes.
Like, how does that work?
Okay, I have
give us like a rundown of like how they can do it.
Yes. So when you start looking up Yoni steams, you're gonna find a lot of things out there. You're gonna find a lot of expensive things out there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you the DIY version.
Let's do the DIY.
This needs to be
keep
realistic.
it cute for the girlies.
Let's keep it cute for the
for
girlies.
sure.
Realistic, right? So you're gonna go on Amazon. You know a squatty potty?
Yeah.
But you're gonna get a cute one, like a bamboo one. Don't get the plastic ones. Those are not cute.
Yep.
Get a little bamboo squatty potty, and then your blend of herbs, and you can go to literally look up loose leaf tea place in your area. Go get your herbs, make sure it's good, whatever. If you live in LA, Earth and Soul in Sherman Oaks, and her name is Bobby. She's absolutely amazing, and she will take good
Shout
care
out
of
to
you.
Bobby.
She also ships.
Amazing.
If you tell her that you saw this episode and Brittany's talking about Yoni steams, she'll know exactly what to do.
Got it.
And you get your herbs, and then that's literally it. And then a blanket. You're definitely going to need a blanket, because you're going to boil some water. Then you're going to put the herbs in there, let it steep for like 2 to 3 minutes, very similar to making a tea. And then you're going to slide it underneath the squatty potty, like, you know how it has that little hole. And then you literally just sit on the edge of the squatty potty, put a blanket over, and meditate.
That's it.
You could do a guided meditation. That's how I started. Like, literally, I couldn't meditate on my own in the beginning. So I would listen to a guided meditation. Gabby Bernstein, shout out to her. She has great ones. And just sit there for 20 minutes and just download. Like, some of my most ugly cries have been over that bowl. And sometimes I'll keep my journal next to me if I feel like something's coming up. But they're very intimate. They're very deep. Sometimes I feel elated. Sometimes I feel sad. But I sit with whatever comes up, and I just let it flow.
Wow. That's beautiful.
So
I
squatty
love that.
potties.
Squatty potties.
Squatty potties and herbs.
The Yoni steam you can do twice a month.
Twice a month.
What are like daily rituals
Daily
or practices that women can do to either do shadow work or lean into female embodiment?
Yeah, I think this also goes into talking about the phases of the cycle just a little bit, just to touch on it a little. Well, we won't go too deep, but really knowing where you fall within that, because it's really hard to show up for shadow work all the time. It could be exhausting, right? It could be a little draining. So just really being intuitive and knowing where you fall. But the things that you can do every single day that I never missed, literally for the last 9 years, is meditating. Just sitting with myself, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Sometimes, like before I even open my eyes, I'll literally just lay there. I'll sit up like in my bed and I'm like, okay, 10 divine deep breaths before I start this day. And then honestly, every morning I'm in silence. One rule in my house, I literally, if I have a mug in my hand, don't talk to me. First like hour of the day is just for me, like navigating my thoughts, like what am I doing, and also being more in my masculine sometimes, because I do show up as an independent woman that likes to take care of herself, you know.
Period.
Me versus feather flock together.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? I have to like just really navigate my thoughts and like move slowly. There's something I'm trying to get more feminine within my masculine, and sometimes I notice when I'm in my masculine, I think I got to get shit done. I got to do this. And doing that in the morning and really practicing those things has really helped me master my masculinity, like the divinity of both, like going slower and really going through my analytical thoughts and like my to-do list. Like it's brought the femininity back into my masculine, which has been really divine. Like that is something I'm constantly like fine-tuning for myself. So I would say definitely meditating. It helps you get to know yourself a lot. Maybe that's praying, like whatever that is to you, a little moment for self, moment for higher realms, whatever you believe in, and just really talking to them more and having a really good relationship with yourself. Like if you can make it a point to check in with you every single day and not rely on anybody else, that's the key, genuinely.
That's so beautiful. I'm such a big advocate of morning routine, meditation, journaling, prayer. Anybody who's listening to this or who has been listening to this for a while or follows me on social media or knows me knows that that is something that is just a staple in my routine. I meditate every day. I journal every day, and it's really helped me embody like the true feminine energy that I don't think feminine energy is something to be attained. It's just something that you become or that you are. You step into. Like it exists in you. Yeah. And sometimes it's just dormant. And so I feel like it's really helped me do that. So I love that that's something that is not me preaching to my listeners on a consistent basis, but also something that is a staple in your routine too. We were talking about this earlier off camera. I'm like, how do you find time for meditation when you travel, like all the things? And so like this is something that's so a part of Brittney's routine, and I think it's so important for every woman, for every person listening, to really just like have time, stillness with yourself, because you actually hear so much that God is trying to tell you when you're still. And so I love that. Let's round it out with 2 questions. First, what's one thing that you wish every woman understood about her own power?
That she's safe enough to access it, like unconditionally, genuinely, like giving yourself permission to access that light inside of you. Like I think we were talking about this earlier, fear. There was a point in time in my life, I think the thing that made me feel the most masculine or out of touch with who I was I was afraid to shine. People would always compliment me. Oh, Brittney, you're good at this. Oh, Brittney, blah, blah, blah. My grandma too. My grandma is my biggest cheerleader. And my mom too, but like she does it in her own way. But it would make me uncomfortable. And I think once I started giving myself permission to access that power and like really just acknowledge it and like not be afraid to be the loudest in the room, not being afraid to be like, yeah, I like to wear like really classy outfits. My hair is always done. My nails are always ready to go. And I'm going to show up as me. I don't care if everybody's going to a casual event. Like if I feel like being classy that day, I'm going to go classy because that's just what I want. So not being afraid to step into that power, because it's so beautiful and it makes you so much more authentic. And you'll never settle for anything less.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really powerful message that women need to hear. Yeah. It's like, it's in you.
It's in you. Always.
It's already in you. You just need to know how to access it. So that being said,
Yeah.
If women want to work with you, if women want to go on this journey, go on this path, have conversations with you, heal with you, have you guide them through healing, how do they start? How can they get in touch with you?
Literally, you can DM me on Instagram, Brittney Hope, with 2 E's at the end, or you can email me, beamingbybrit@gmail.com, and just reach out to me. We'll schedule an introduction call first. It's free for 20 minutes, and we'll face-to-face just kind of understand where you are, where you're going. Sometimes those even turn into a little mini session, I'm not gonna lie. And then we'll curate your path. And I offer packages, whatever makes the client the most comfortable, because something that I'm really serious about is making healing more available to people. I don't ever want it to be like something that people can't show up for. So whatever somebody needs, like, we'll figure it out together. I want it to be something where it's like, I'm here to support you. So whatever capacity that is, I love voice notes. You can even DM me a whole voice note telling me what you got going on, and then we'll figure out what works for you.
Wow, I love that. So make sure that you reach out to Brittney. If you are trying to go on your healing journey, I also am trying to go on my healing journey with her. So 10 out of 10, recommend already. But I'm so grateful for you being here.
So grateful.
Thank you so much for just your insights, your wisdom, for making something that may feel taboo or uncomfortable feel so accessible, feel so comfortable instead of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about it so freely, so confidently, and I feel like every woman should be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so I honor you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate you sharing it with all my listeners. And I really hope that some of you reach out to Brittney and start to do the work for yourself, because it is truly beautiful work. And I'm glad that this was the start of your journey with her.
Yes. So, thank you so much for having me. I love this.
I love you.
Natural.
It was so good. It was so good. Okay, y'all, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe.
Yes,
follow Brittney.
Tune in.
Do all the things. We love you. We appreciate you. Have a great day. We'll see you next week. Bye.